Ready. Play.
So, Joao Fonseca versus Karen Khachanov. Joao, of course, making it through to this stage after a 3-set win over Denis Shapovalov today, coming from a set down. Khachanov much more comfortable in his first-round encounter with Ethan Quinn, dropping just 2 games en route to the round of 16 last night. Of course, Karen Khachanov was a semi-finalist here last year, although he was struggling big style in that semi-final physically against Hugo Humbert, and ultimately went down in that semi-final. It was an epic encounter and a physically grueling one from memory serves. But yeah, so Khachanov, a lot of points to defend, and he has actually been on a losing streak coming into this tournament. It goes back to the US Open when he lost in 5 sets to Maishak. Then he lost in 3 sets to Muller in Beijing before losing to Shang in the first round, or his first encounter in Shanghai, also in straight sets. Then there was a 3-set loss to Jan-Lennard Struff in Almaty, and then a 3-set loss to Talon Griekspoor last week in Vienna. So a 5-match losing streak was broken in the first round in Paris. And overall for the year, he is 30-23. This is the first match, by the way, on the ATP main tour between Joao Fonseca and Karen Khachanov at very different stages, of course, in their career, with Joao just 19 years old, whereas Karen Khachanov is 29 years old, so 10 years his senior. As for Joao Fonseca, for the year, he is 25-15. Of course, 2 titles for the Brazilian as well in his first full year on the main tour. It's been an incredible year in so many ways for the Brazilian, and possibly the highlight, certainly in terms of winning titles. And it was a 500 in Basel that he secured last week with that win over Davidovich Fokina in the final. Many may well look at the 250 in Buenos Aires, though, as being maybe even more euphoric given the nature of that run in terms of how tight some of the matches were and perhaps how surprising. But nevertheless, his indoor form is pretty good. Winning those 5 matches in Basel, didn't really appear to be that good when we looked at his first tournament in the European indoor season with the loss of Botic van der Zandschulp in Brussels. But then he goes on that incredible run last week in Basel, which really all began in that first round encounter against Mpechi Pedicard, winning a very, very tight first set, 8-6 in the tiebreak. And then he didn't look back for the rest of the tournament, ultimately beating Davidovich Fokina 6-3, 6-4 in the final. The physical side of it, though, may be a factor in terms of this match with Khachanov, because we did see Joao struggling in that 3rd set today against Denis Shapovalov with a hip injury. So the rest that he's going to have, it's going to be minimal. Yes, so every hour of rest that Joao Fonseca gets will be much appreciated. I'm sure Khachanov, in terms of the way he prevailed 6-1, 6-1 in his first round encounter, will be the much fresher of the 2. And I think it is likely to be a Wednesday encounter. So that will probably favor Khachanov. In terms of Joao Fonseca's recent form, that's 6 wins in a row for him now in the indoor season since that loss to Botic. Previous to that, he played just 1 match at the Laver Cup, which is, of course, also indoor conditions. But he did win that one. In fact, he's on a pretty good streak, I would argue. What's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 wins from his last 10 matches. That's pretty impressive. The real interesting thing in terms of this encounter, though, I think, is the matchup. Very, very different players playing very different styles of game. I don't need to tell you how aggressive Joao Fonseca is and just how not so aggressive Karen Khachanov is. I actually do see ultimately Khachanov prevailing for 2 or 3 reasons. Freshness. Khachanov not much time on court recently, and in particular in Paris. The hip injury that may well hold up Joao Fonseca, and he's going to have to play a few longer points than he would like. He's not going to get so many free points like he got against Denis Shapovalov today. So that will also hold him back. And I also think we might be coming towards the end of this streak, if you like, of non-stop tennis for him over the last 10 days or so from both Basel and then, of course, now in Paris. And I think we're seeing the physical side of that just starting to catch up with the young Brazilian. And Khachanov, as I said, fresh as a daisy, and memories of some good runs here in Paris, including, obviously, that semi-final run last year. So I'm going to go with a Khachanov win in 3 sets. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.